What's going on, everybody? It's Jordan from Fit Grind, and today we're going over episode number 2 of the 3 new exercises you need to try. If you're new to the channel, I do 3 videos a week. I do one video where I do a workout equipment review. I do one video where I take you through a full workouts, and then I'll do a video like this. Kind of varies every week. Some weeks it's some helpful tips or some new exercises to try. But if you like that kind of content, consider subscribing. I also own a men's apparel line. This is actually one of our tees and one of our shorts. The Relentless tee and Grind Don't Stop is going to be releasing in a couple weeks. I'll leave the link in the description, fitgrindapparel.com, if you want to check us out. We also do monthly winners, so if you want to sign up for a chance to win free Fit Grind apparel, like I said, I'll leave that link in the description. You can check us out, sign up for your chance to win free apparel. We also have a women's line too as well, so if you're a lady or if you want to get something for your wife or your girlfriend, like I said, I'll leave that link in the description. Go check us out. As always, you can use that FitGrind code at gymsupscience.com for 15% off your gym subs as well. So if you never tried gym subs, or if you do, use that FitGrind code. You'll save 15% at gymsupscience.com. So with all that said, let's get to the video. All right, so exercise number 1 is going to be for the upper body. So this is going to be the hammer up, curl down eccentric. So what we're doing on this one, this is a really good way that you can overload your biceps. With biceps and arms in general, there's a lot of isolation that you're doing in general. So you need to find ways that you can overload your muscles so you can continue to make strength progress and hypertrophy progress. So what we're doing here, generally in a hammer curl, you're going to be able to lift a little bit more weight than you can in a regular curl. So we're taking advantage of that. You're going to use a little bit heavier weight. I would suggest like 5 to 10 pounds heavier than you would normally on a curl. You're going to hammer curl the weight up, flip your grip, supinate your grip, and then you're going to slowly let that curl down. We're aiming for 3 to 5 seconds on that eccentric. Now start off super strict. As you start to fatigue, as you can see in the video, using a little bit of momentum. Now, what we don't want to do is we don't want to throw our back into it. It's just a little bit of a forward lean, use a little momentum, hammer curl up, flip that grip, and then really slow eccentric on the way down. This is a really great way that you can overload your biceps. I would do this towards the beginning of your arm routine, not towards the end when you're already zapped, when you're a little bit more fresh. So this is a great way you can overload your biceps and continue to make strength and muscle hypertrophy progress. So exercise number 1 is the hammer curl up, palms up, eccentric curl on the way down. Exercise number 2 is going to be the 1.5 slantward squat, so lower body. This is an awesome exercise that is going to blast your quads. Now, as you can see in the video in a second, if you don't have a slantward, you can use a 25 or 45 pound plate, but basically all we're trying to do is we're trying to get our heels elevated. And what this is going to do is it's going to emphasize the quads a lot more. It's going to take your hamstrings, your glutes, your adductors, it's going to take those out of the motion, and it's going to really emphasize a lot of quad. So what we're doing here, we're focusing on staying super tall. You're only going to bend from your knees, and I don't want you to hinge from your hips at all. I want you to stay as tall as possible, and you're just going to drift forward, let those knees slightly get out in front of the toes. Don't let your chest fall forward, and focus on just using the quads to do this movement. Tempo, I typically like to stick a little bit slower. You're going to have a nice slow eccentric, pause, come up halfway, back down, all the way back up, really controlled tempo. So 1.5 reps, meaning that you're going to go all the way down, halfway back up, all the way back down, all the way up, and that's 1 rep. This is a really great way to focus on just the quads. You're not using any momentum, you're not using any other muscle groups. It's a good one to, just like I said, focus on the quads. Where I would use this is either superset it with a different exercise and towards the middle to the end of the leg workout. I wouldn't start off with this exercise. I would focus on some strength first. This is one that you can pair with another quadricep exercise or an antagonist like a hamstring or a glute exercise to really increase the intensity of that lower body routine. And this is just a really good one, like I said, to slightly switch up your squat motion and also slightly switch up the emphasis of that squat, where as a back squat is going to be a little bit more hamstring glute, a little bit of quad focus. The slantward squat is going to be super quad focused. So exercise number 2, 1.5 slantward squats. Third and final exercise is going to be toe to bar, but really it's any hanging leg raise variation depending on your fitness level. So you can start off with just a basic hanging on the pull-up bar, learning how to control your core. You can progress that to a hanging knee raise. You can progress that to a hanging straight leg raise. You can progress that to a knee to elbow. You can eventually progress that to a toe to bar. You can do a lot of different toe to bar variations. Third exercise is just any sort of hanging leg raise exercise. And why this is so good, and I tell people this all the time, if you're picking ab exercises and you're picking crunches, stop. Crunches and sit-ups are exercises where there's no overload. The only way that we can overload is adding reps. We need, when we're choosing exercises, we need to pick ways that we can progressively either get stronger or that we can increase the intensity of that exercise, or we can increase the difficulty of that exercise. Hanging leg raises is a great option because really the sky's the limit. You can get to doing really progressed movements on the pull-up bar where you're doing straight legs with pulses, doing windmills, doing all sorts of crazy exercises that are really great for your core, and that is why it's so powerful, because it's going to be an exercise where the sky is really the limit. Once you get one variation of the exercise, you can always progress it a little bit more. You can always progress it a little bit more. Or if you're not quite there to a toe bar, you can regress it until you can build yourself up to that point. But with our core exercises, we need to pick ways that we can keep getting stronger. That's really the point of strength training, is to slowly adapt our muscles to either heavier weight or a more challenging variation of the exercise over time. So exercise number 3 is toe to bar, but it's any sort of hanging leg raise exercise for the core. So if you enjoyed this video, I've done one other video like this before. You can go check that out. I'll leave the link in the description. This is going to be a series where I'm going to do 3 exercises every single week. If you like this kind of content, make sure that you subscribe and hit that thumbs up button. Go check out fitgrindapparel.com. Like I said, links in the description, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.